According to the FBI, senior citizens in the U.S. suffer more than $3 billion in losses each year to fraudsters. And SchoolsFirst Federal Credit Union wants to help protect older adults from common scams with a few useful tips to know. It's Financial Wellness Wednesday, and Fruit Ridge branch manager Tamara Bieber is here to share advice on how we can avoid scams that target senior citizens. Hi, Tamara.
Hi, Desiree. It's great to be here.
I know. We're excited to have you in person.
Thank you.
It's such an important topic that we're talking about. Tamara, why do people target senior citizens?
You know, that's a really great question. And while seniors aren't the only ones being targeted, they certainly are a great target because scammers, they prey on the trustfulness, their kindness, and essentially the assets that they have gained, throughout their lifetime. Yeah. So it's really important that you stay, kind of vigilant, you stay educated, you learn about these scams so that you can protect yourself and your family members.
Yeah, so what are some of the common scams we need to be aware of?
So there are 4 that come to mind right now. And, like I said, fraudsters, they prey on your emotions. They get you to act in a way that they cause fear or some type of urgency in you. So the 4 most common that we see, the first is the tech support scam. And that is where they will pose to be somebody from a technical support representative that wants to fix a problem in your computer that doesn't exist. So they either ask a fee to do this service for you, or they ask to remote into your computer. And once they get into your computer, they have access to all kinds of information, sensitive personal information. The second one that we see is the romance scam or the sweetheart scam. And this one breaks my heart because it's preying on our natural human need for companionship. So they pose as a romantic partner, typically through a dating website or online through social media. And they establish a relationship. And once that relationship is established, they start asking for things. They start asking for money, for travel, things, to come see you, let's say, or emergencies that pop up. Another common one that we see is the lottery or sweepstakes scam. You won this fabulous prize, so just pay us this fee and you will get the goods, and then they never come, and you've opened up yourself to a lot of financial loss potentially. And then the 4th one that we see, which is common but not as common as the other, is the grandparent scheme. And what that is you'll get a phone call from somebody posing to be your child or your grandparent, and they're in some type of emergency and they need your help. A car broke down, they're gonna get evicted if they don't pay their rent, and they need money right now. And we've even seen something as extreme as, I am in another country, I got arrested, I need you to pay this money so I can come home. So those are the most common that we see right now.
Yeah, I've had a friend that's had the grandparent scheme happen to them, and it's just unfortunate. So we really want to help people prevent this. How do these scams present themselves?
They will present themselves in any way that works, but the most common is typically text message, email, or a phone call.
And what are some tips to avoid fraud schemes in the first place?
Okay, so the first thing you want to do is never share your personal information over a text message, an email, or in a phone call that you didn't initiate. So that's number 1. The second thing is don't send cash or gift cards or wire transfers to people you don't know or somebody that you've never met in person. That's a red flag. The third is don't let people remote access into your devices, your computers, because that opens you up to a lot of sensitive information. And I would say the most important thing is to remember, don't act quickly. Resist the urge to just do, and reach out to somebody you trust, like your credit union or your bank, for advice. Because we're here to protect you. We want to guide you with no judgment. A lot of times these things come with embarrassment or shame. So don't feel any of that and come talk to us.
Yeah, I like that you mentioned to not just do, because sometimes if you're getting a message like you mentioned, a sweepstakes or a giveaway, you kind of want to react, but to make sure that it's actually legit and credible.
Yes.
So where can we learn more about common scams?
The Federal Trade Commission is a great resource of information. You can learn about the common scams, how to protect yourself, and more importantly, how to report a scam if you were victim to some type of fraud. And so you would do that by visiting their website. It's consumer.ftc.gov, and it's just a plethora of information. Yeah,
and you mentioned, and I want to highlight that again, but why is it important to go to your bank like SchoolsFirst Federal Credit Union? You mentioned sometimes with these scams there's shame, even though there shouldn't be. So why is it important to either way still go to SchoolsFirst Federal Credit Union?
Come talk to us. Really, we're here to support and help give you advice and send you on a path to where we can either stop something like this from happening or potentially in some cases help get your finances back.
Tamara from SchoolsFirst, always a pleasure having you on.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and for more financial advice, visit SchoolsFirst FCU.org.